It is time. Welcome everybody to the Roccat Legacy of the Void Grand Finals. After 3 days of intense game, we are down to just 2 players who will be fighting for the check of $20,000 as well as the prestigious title of the first Legacy of the Void champion. Let's welcome the 2 players to the stage. It is Solar and Parting. Parting, you've had a crazy day today. You showed us so many intense games, but now this is it. You are against the final boss in Solar. If you want your second Dreamhack title, you must defeat him. What do you have to say to him before this match?
일단 오늘 많은 좋은 경기력을 보여줬는데 이제 파이널 보스인 강민수 선수를 만났어요. 여기서 이겨야 우승자들 되는데 이 경기 전에 강민수 선수한테 한마디만 해주세요.
제가 강민 선수한테 꽤 많이 졌는데 오늘 여기 이제 기회가 왔는데 다시 한번 복수할 수 있는 기회가 왔는데 최선을 다해서 후회가 남지 않는 경기력을 보여주고 싶고요. 그리고 어제 파팅이 아니니까 긴장했으면 좋겠어요.
Okay, so he says, first of all, I've lost to Solar a lot in the past, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity to get revenge on him. And I want to say, I hope to present games that I don't regret. And last of all, I want Solar to be nervous because I am not the Parting from yesterday. Now, Solar, you are the final boss. You've made it to the grand finals. And if you want your third Dreamhack title, you must defeat Parting. What do you have to say back to him?
First one is I'm very happy that 2 Korean players meeting grand finals. And I just want to say to sorry him because if I win this final, I beat him 2 times in this tournament. So I'm very sorry to him.
All right then, we'll see who comes out on top for this title. Players, please shake hands. Only one of these guys will walk away as the title of the first Legacy of the Void champion. We'll find out who it is after this best of 7. Can't wait to see. Nathanius, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mix. Well met, Jönköping. It is time to crown the first Premier Tournament champion for StarCraft II Legacy of the Void.
Excitement levels are rising.
It feels good to be a part of this, The final expansion, all of StarCraft II is finally out, and here we are to kick it off, Sean.
The best version of StarCraft II over the last 5 years and the first big tournament here in Sweden. And very much so looking forward to see who will take that championship. And we've got 2 former champions going head-to-head. You've got Solar, who's already a 2-time Dreamhack champion. You've got Parting, who's a 1-time Dreamhack champion. And they are, safe to say, and have been over the last few days, the 2 best players at this tournament. And it's rightfully so that they're in the final.
Yeah, it's been really a treat to watch these guys battle through. And I have to give definitely, anybody that missed the beginning of today's games, if you didn't check out Parting versus TY, I do want to give a big all thanks to TY for the phenomenal play that he brought as well, because that was one of the best series we've ever seen. We've come a long way through 24 of the world's best StarCraft II e-gamers. We're competing from the beginning of Dreamhack Winter, and we had round-robin group stages. We got to see who was hot, who was not. Well, unsurprisingly, the winners of Group A and B, those stats, they did make it all the way.
From day one, they showed domination in this tournament, as you can see. Parting went with only 3 map losses. Solar didn't drop a single map then. They started strong and they're finishing as well.
Yep, that's pretty reasonable results that we kind of expected. A few players maybe shuffled around here and there for those first 2 groups, but undoubtedly Parting and Solar really showing from the very get-go that they were here to kick ass. And we look at Group C and Group D. These groups were a little bit more scrappy. We saw the players that led those groups get very far, but not quite enough to take out either of these 2.
Well, Firecake was the big surprise here, not only making it first in the group, but making it 3rd in the overall tournament. So got to give him massive props there.
Yeah, Nerchio did have the best record out of, between him and Firecake and a lot of the other guys that actually made it pretty deep in that bracket, including TY, but not quite able to do it himself. And so that leaves us with the bracket stage that we did finish up. We had quite a few interesting matches, maybe an upset here or there, depending on how much you follow some of these guys.
Yeah, it's been a good tournament. It's had a really good format from a very different format compared to what we usually see with group stages into this type of bracket as we see here, which provided excellent games from the start. We started on day 2, we're now here at the end of day 3, and we've had back-to-back-to-back action each day. And we've seen in this bracket some of the best StarCraft, as you'd already said, that we've seen in a very long time.
Showtime showing us some amazing PvZ. In fact, all 3 Zergs there, he beat in that bracket. I think he lost 0 maps amongst them all, or maybe 1 map here and there, eventually falling to Parting. And yeah, Nathanius, you said it earlier, the series between TY and Parting, one of the most exciting games I've ever seen.
Seriously, if you missed that, go watch it as soon as you're done watching this grand final, because it was really awesome. And we actually have a little video prepared to get you guys a little bit up to speed if you have missed anything that's happened so far in the tournament. Some of the best moments from today. And it was really interesting to see the way that these kind of worked out. We got to see Solar being dominant from the very beginning, guys.
Yeah, so he just got better and better. The first game against Spike actually, he looked a little on the edge there, but slowly but surely, he just looked unstoppable. Bailings blowing up absolutely everything there.
Yeah, it was a very action-packed set of games that we had pretty much throughout the entire course of the day. That reaction, you guys.
That was definitely watching some disruptors.
That's what they do to you.
And we had some really crazy PvP, and we getting to see Parting wage that warpath down, making great use of Adept in situations where it seemed like Firecake had maybe been able to get some ground, but he just he moves too fast for him.
Yeah, Parting played super well in the game just before, and deservedly so. He didn't really show too much away either in this series. It wasn't too complicated of a series for him. He was just aggressive, he used very simple tactics, and took up a very simple victory, which leads him into the grand finals, where he will face a different Zerg, but a rematch from earlier.
It's been an intense set of games the last few days here at Dreamhack Winter 2015. Of course, the Roccat Legacy of the Void Championship, $20,000 first place is what these 2 guys are competing for. Parting, you said it, he had a big victory in France earlier this year. And Solar, who's got 2 victories in Stockholm, looking to get that number 3 trophy.
Getting closer and closer to Team Liquid Tasia's record.
Absolutely. Solar is just looking unstoppable at the moment. Here's the man himself with very, very high win rates, as you can see here. Strongest against Protoss.
Yeah, if you want to see how to play Zerg versus Protoss, or I suppose Protoss versus Zerg, whichever way you want to look at it, this is the series to take note of. Exactly everything down to the building timings, to the unit timings, to the movement of the army, the correct army composition. You want to know how to play StarCraft II at a decent level, and if you're getting stuck in this matchup, this is the game to watch. These 2 players are some of the, if not the best Legacy of the Void players.
That's right, StarCraft II Legacy of the Void has been out barely over 2 weeks now. There's so much madness, so much craziness that we've seen in this tournament, that we've seen on people's streams, the online cups. It's been hectic. And now we're starting to get an idea of where the best players are taking this game, where they're taking their strategies. Of course, as we go throughout the grand finals, we would like to hear of everything that you guys have you've been saying. We've seen a lot of your tweets. It's been interesting to read your comments, your feedbacks. A lot of people said PvP is more like tennis than bowling. I respectfully disagree, but you can voice your opinions online, and keep in mind you can also win swag by tweeting with the hashtag #SetTheRules from our sponsor Roccat. We're giving away a lot of cool stuff, as well as the hashtag DHW15. Guys, this is a tough one. This is I feel like Solar comes in with the advantage.
Absolutely.
Do any of you guys think Parting can do this?
Yes, I think that surely Solar is the guy who's more favored in this finals, but I think it's going to be much, much closer. It's a best of 7 now, not a best of 5. It's going to be closer for Parting, but he's still, as close as it could be, needs to definitely step it up a couple of notches again to be on the same level as Solar.
And we have seen massive favorites fall in the past in the finals of Dreamhack, so
yeah,
Solar isn't invincible. Parting was the guy to show us that, so can he do it again?
I mean, one thing when you look at the bracket too is that Solar hasn't really played in a good couple of hours either, and he's going to jump in right into the final, whereas Parting just sat in that booth game after game after game, and is comfortable, is warm, is ready to go, and you can look at that as a potentially slight advantage too.
Yeah, and I feel like also Parting didn't have to show all too much in the series against Firecake, and this is going to be the time when Parting has to bring out the very, very best build order.
All right.
that Parting has to offer.
Well, let's find out what the very best that Parting has to offer is as he goes up against the Titan that is Solar. Guys, it's time to kick off the grand finals of the Roccat Legacy of the Void Championship. Apollo, Snoot, take it away.
Thank you very much, Nathanius. It's an honor to bring you the grand finals, a best of 7, as map number 1 is now underway down here to the south side of Dusk Towers as the red Protoss player. It's Parting. Of course, a champion of Dreamhack Tour a little bit earlier on this year.
And here in the top, 2-time Dreamhack champion, looking for his 3rd, it's Solar.
Big favorite to do so. It was a tournament favorite from the very moment he was invited into this. Both players were invites. And now we go head-to-head in a $10,000 best of 7. First place takes home 20. Second has banked already $10,000, but it's a lot more than just that for these players. It's about being that champion, grabbing that trophy, hearing the roar of the crowd, which you've experienced yourself, Snoot, and it's something that not many things can match.
Yeah, every player out there wants to be the player lifting up the trophy, being the champion. It's the dream of many a pro gamer out there. Solar and Parting, both champions in different tournaments, but who's going to win this one?
Who's going to win this one? It's all down to exactly what they do in the next couple of hours. Could go for a long series, could be a very fast one. We've had a lot of fast series so far in this tournament, and already the opening build orders are starting to take shape. We have a 3-hatch before spawning pool starting up from Solar.
Just a very typical macro approach we've seen from Solar. Safe, solid, did scout earlier on as well, took the natural down in the 3rd base location, I would suppose. This one, very safe approach, would make sure that there was no sort of proxy play from Parting coming up there. And Parting also just opening up very standard with the Nexus first, Gateway, Cyber, just a very traditional approach here. No second gate yet, though.
No second gate yet. He's got full information on what Solar's up to. So now what does he want to do? What build is he going to craft? As he's inside that main base, harassing the drone line, but more importantly, sees no gas has been taken yet, which means at this point, Solar is pure on drones and very limited on mobility and really defense overall. Or is Parting going to be looking at a Stargate here?
First major tech choice of this series. The Stargate is going to provide a lot of utility to Parting and a lot of scouting as well. And it will be able to shut down proxy overlords as well. So the opportunity for Nidus Worms and scouting in particular will be removed from the map here.
And this is something obviously Solar is going to be wanting to find out about ASAP. As he has no overlord outside the main base. Zerglings now making their way to the other side of the map. These aren't going to be too useful as an Adept is about to pop. And this will easily push back a simple scouting Zergling at the front. So it's going to have to rely on either guessing and playing overall very safe, or for an Overlord to get vision inside the main.
This is a very quick Stargate though. Does not reveal the Mothership Core there, but Solar does see an Adept and also sees the Forge going down. And both the Adept being so low on gas and the Forge as well, an indicator of long-term play usually. All of those things point towards it being an Oracle. But Solar with the confirmation scout here, but will he lose this Overlord? Almost.
The answer is yes.
It. Wow, that pylon being able to shoot so far. The Solar already taking a little bit of a hit.
All right. So 3rd Nexus down very early on for Parting, taking full advantage of the lack of Zergling speed, the lack of tech right now that is available for Solar due to his late gases. There's no way to prevent this 3rd Nexus from going down. And at the same time, Solar is going to scout that very early on. Both players full of information on exactly what each other are up to.
2 Adepts coming in though, 2 Adepts being the critical number to one-shot drones. These Adepts could do some damage here. There's even a Zealot and an Oracle in the mix. And it seems like Parting is about to focus down the Queens here as the Zealots are wreaking havoc here in the mineral line. And this is already looking like a very successful opening here for Parting.
And this is a great start here. Another couple of drones go down, 5 in total. Remember, off the back of this, he's got a very fast 3rd Nexus too.
These Adepts still doing so well against the Zergling. One finally falls, but Parting ready to cause more trouble, and so many Zerglings were forced out for Solar. These Zerglings were not drones, and also a lot of drones were killed there. They're both even in workers right now.
All right, well, +1 attack is halfway completed now for Parting. Void Ray numero 1 is on its way, as well as the Twilight Council and robotics facility, so he's looking very built up overall. But we do see a small amount of units moving through the middle of the map here for Solar. It's a handful of Zerglings, but they are without speed, and they shouldn't really be able to do anything.
Yeah, if Solar overextends with these, they are just going to be sacrificial. Mothership Core here, ready to drop some pylon overcharges if necessary, but Solar knows that running up there would not be the best decision, especially because Zergling speed is not complete because of that late gas opening that Solar went for.
All right, Solar goes in with Novaseer, and that's taken down very easily.
Sees the Twilight Council researching something, but what is it? Is it charge? Is it blink? Is it the adept upgrade? Solar cannot know right now what's going on in the minor party.
All right, well, here comes the Oracle to have a look on the other side. Zergling speed about to finish up, but still no real access for these Zerglings. On Parting's had a great start in this best of 7 already. The Spire is down, and it's almost close to finishing. It has not been spotted yet. The Oracle is coming around the back here. He's still alive, and he's going to get a very big scout here. The Queen comes in and cannot deny it. And now he knows that the Spire are about to complete. Phoenixes start up instantly from the Stargate. Cannons coming down in protection, and that was a very, very important scout.
Absolutely. It really shows that Solar wants to go for this sort of Ling Muta style, and Parting is preparing so well. The Twilight Council is still busy researching those resonating glaives for the adepts, but he can very shortly begin the blink upgrade research as well to help even more against these mutas and Zerglings. And the second Stargate on the way, that's going to deal very well with these mutas, and if Solar keeps committing, then he might find himself in a lot of trouble against Mass Phoenix.
Well, we even have a Warp Prism coming out. Really cool move this, always.
Yeah, this is going to buy a lot of time for Parting.
Yeah, as long as it can get all the way around and not be spotted, which it shouldn't do, as there is no Overlords around at all. But Solar having a look up, sees a lot of gateways. That's always a very scary thing to see at the front there, knowing the possibility for a big army to be built is just around the corner.
Here come the mutas, here come the mutas. How much are they going to accomplish?
Well, inside the main base, 1 cannon already there. 2 Phoenixes waiting. Photon overcharge activated immediately and shut down is the response.
Beautiful defense by Parting there, being so well prepared and even getting a muta. Could get a second one as well.
Wow, almost. But this is brilliant. And remember, that Warp Prism still at the north, waiting to strike into the mineral line. Hallucinated Phoenix has a quick look what the follow-up is from this Mutalist play. Is he going to stay on them? Is he tech switching? What is that tech switch? Mutalist inside the main base again, do get pushed back again.
Parting committing heavily to airplay here, getting that fleet beacon as well. Continuing to engage with his Phoenix, and the Warp Prism is about to go into the main as well. Further buying time for Parting to follow up with that tech choice.
And it is Hydralisk coming out. The Lurker Den is on its way. Obviously, they're going to be taken out nice and easy here. And Parting waiting to strike with the Warp Prism, waiting for the perfect time. It seems like now is the time that he's decided to go in with it. There's 4 adepts in it. More can be easily warped in. The Mulists are already on track towards it. Not sure how successful this is going to be.
Solar's economy is booming right now. 4 bases, 85 workers, 8 gases. Solar has all the tools available to him to just mass produce units right now.
Another Overlord goes down here. 20 supply difference between 2 of them. 1 Phoenix gets taken out, doing a bit of damage to these Mutalisks. A little bit worried about the high amount of Hydralisk Zerglings and also Lurkers that are going to be available around the corner, as there's not really that much splash damage yet for Parting. He's built up pretty good infrastructure, but he really desperately needs to get closer and closer towards those disruptors, which aren't ready yet. And Solar getting ready to build this army to strike soon.
Seems to be some sort of Zergling
Hydralisk
Lurker play. This is a little dangerous for Parting though, pressing against his 5th. Gets the kill, no cancel. And will he be able to escape safely? Seems like it so far.
A lot of Stalkers here. He does have the Mothership, if need be, to escape. He's going to come around this right-hand side, and in goes Solar. And this is a very scary Zerg army. Good force fields keep away a lot of the Hydralisk and Lurkers. The Mothership...
Oh, it's still alive, the Mothership Core. Wow.
It's going to go for it, and he's going to take it down, but he does lose a few Mutalisks in that trade-off.
Yeah, this was a very expensive engagement for Solar, I feel.
But Disruptors are on the way now. Snoot, 2 of them in the production tab, and ideally, Parting just wants to back off until he can get there. He's going to trade, obviously, as well as he can while that's happening.
I feel like this is... Oh, the Phoenixes are getting picked off. That's going to open the opportunity for Solar to go back into Mutas if he so decides later on. But for now, it just seems like Solar is eager to attack Parting.
All right, I don't even think we have one disruptor out yet. It's very close to coming out. He's holding on for as much as possible. Lurkers edging forward. They deal so much damage. A blink, a very courageous blink to the left-hand side. The first disruptor is here, and is Parting going to be able to hold on to this position? There's 3 cannons. And here comes the first disruptor ball, and that's a big hit! 6 Hydralisks go down instantly.
But everything's creeping closer now. I feel like Parting might want to have some more sentries again. Those force fields really did so much work for him.
Lurkers get cancelled there. And the disruptor out just in the nick of time. A very aggressive blink forward to pick up some of the back Hydralisks from Parting, and he's turned his defense into aggression.
Parting so confident with his blink stalker control as always.
And now, just like that, Solar, who is looking for a big fight to maybe take down that 4th, has to defend his own 4th.
Looking good so far, getting a nice position on the high ground, but the Zerg
2
comes
more
to
disruptors already. Here they go. Number 1 goes in. Only gets 2 Hydralisks, not the biggest hits. The second one goes after just the front 2 Lurkers, brings them down to very low health. A blink forward, picks off one of the Lurkers here. Good control from Parting. A chase from Solar is leading a little bit dangerous. And a blink out. And a couple of trades here, taking down the front set of these units. And equal in supply once again, but Parting throughout all of this has another Warp Prism in play. The Dark Shrine's on its way as well.
I love that blink forward so much. Only seeing a couple of Lurkers at the front with most of them in the back. Parting taking that opportunity to pick off so many Lurkers there. And Solar's gas count is kind of dwindling at this point, to be honest. He's up to 10 gas though, but if Parting can snipe this 5th base, that's going to deny the gas income of Solar.
Yeah, this is a big move now if he can get it in. Oh, he gets a hit on the Hydralisk at the back. He blinks backwards and finds himself a couple of Lurkers.
There's so many Corruptors though, and they cannot shoot down. Sure, they can shoot buildings, but they cannot shoot units.
The Greatest Fire is almost ready, but it's not ready now, and he needs to be able to defend this 5th base, and it's about to take a lot of damage. Another pick off of another Lurker.
If Parting can remove all of these Lurkers, as well as the Zerglings, even just the Lurkers would be more than enough. He can warp in Adepts to deal with the Zergling reinforcements. It seems like Solar is in trouble.
A lone Lurker goes down instantly, and these Corruptors still dead weight in the air. Corruptor just so useless at this point.
The Corruptors were made way too soon here.
Now the Greatest Fire is ready, but
Solar cannot have expected Parting to be this aggressive and made the Corruptors, but now he's paying for it. I mean, Broodlord smurfing, but Solar already lost the 5th base.
He's lost his 5th, and he's about to lose even more, perhaps. As Solar force fills that ramp, he's going to probably work around a little bit more south. He's got his 5th base up nice and early.
Parting still got to be careful since there still are a few Lurkers in play, and especially now that the Broodlords are out. An overextension could be fatal here for Parting.
All right, great blink forward there. Picks off a Queen, picks off a Lurker. Now targets down the hatchery, and this is a must-keep here for Solar. And it's going to go down. And big hits coming out from the Disruptors. Another big hit on the left-hand side. And Solar is being shredded in game number 1 by Parting as he blinks around, jumping left and right, using the mobility that these Stalkers are gifted through their ability.
And the Brothers are so exposed. Parting confidently blinking forward.
Parting excellent in game number 1. Now Solar has lost 2 maps in this tournament, both to Parting, and is now trailing in this long best of 7. It's still a long way to go, but Parting is the player to draw blood first against the favorites.
Absolutely amazing control there, and very, very nice unit composition from Parting. Dealing with all of the mutants, just the defense that he had against those mutants initially was so on point.
Scouting, defense, his setup, everything there was looking on point for Parting. And I think it's safe to say that I think he learned a little bit from the series that he lost originally to Solar, and now he's putting up a much better fight. He said he's feeling much better. He's a bit more hydrated than he was earlier on this morning, and he's playing well. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. He's won game after game after game, and here he is playing very well against Solar.
Yeah, this was the confident Parting that we all know and love, the confident forward blinks, as we can see here, just swiftly taking position here on Solar's 4th base. Disruptor shots completely zoning out the Zerg army, and I feel like Parting really is mastering the Stalker Disruptor dynamic and how to use these units in Legacy of the Void.
Very, very aggressive, very decisive, and very deadly play coming out from the Protoss player. So courageous with every movement that he makes. And as you said, those moves come from a player that is full of confidence. He's not second-guessing himself. He's not doubting himself. He believes in himself, and he believes that he can take another Dreamhack championship.
Yeah, sometimes in prior tournaments, we've seen overconfidence from Protoss players, blinking into Broodlords, blinking into Infestors, overextending too far, but Parting really respecting the lurkers here and dealing with them appropriately.
And that is the trophy that one of these two will take home in the next few hours.
But this being a best of 7 means we're going to see some very different maps. Perhaps all of them if this series goes all the way to game number 7. And the next one is a bit of a special one. It's going to be Central Protocol as it's loading up here.
All right, here we go. Map number 2 in the grand finals of the Roccat Legacy of the Void Championship is up here to the top left-hand side. Spawning in as the red Protoss player, it is Partying. Playing for Yowie Flash Wolves, a legendary Protoss player in the StarCraft scene, going up here against the blue Zerg player from Samsung Galaxy Card. It's Solar.
Central Protocol is a very strange map when it comes to PvC. There's a lot of opportunity to be aggressive. You have rocks in your main base leading straight into it. Those can of course be broken down by heavy damage units such as Immortals, Ravagers. Zerglings and the Zealots can also break them down, but it will take a little bit more time. And here we have the horizontal positions as well. Solar scouting in the horizontal direction, so he will find Parting's position very early on, see what's up. And Parting actually being so confident on this map, going for a Nexus first.
Yes, he is, and his build's going to get spotted rather early from the first Overlord here.
And a bit more of a standard approach here from Solar, going for Hatch Gas Pool.
So you've played on this map multiple times, multiple different matchups. What is something here that is going to benefit Solar, especially considering these positions?
The short rush distances of this map. Once those rocks are broken down, you don't even have to break them down, but it's definitely an option. And when you have broken those down, Ravager rushes can be incredibly powerful. Another strong option is also to play heavily with the 2-base macro. Get Queens out, get Queens and Ravagers in combination. Creep those slowly towards the Protoss player's base, because the rush distance is not that great. And then you can have an overwhelming force that can deal with Void Rays, Gateway units, even Immortals, and even the Pylon Overcharge. When the Ravager count is so high, you can easily take down most of Protoss players' defenses here.
Is the difficulty of the third base, the openness of the third base for a Protoss player, something that a Zerg should target in on?
Definitely. You don't want to risk too much, though. We see how powerful the Pylon Overcharge can be versus Zerglings, for example. But definitely Ravagers are some of the units I feel have extra power on this map from the Zerg arsenal. I wouldn't use Mutalisk here, even if it's a very close position map, because it's so easy for the Protoss player to counterattack using a ground army and just locking off the right-hand side of the Protoss player's base here. So I definitely feel like the Ravager is one of the core units on this map.
All right, well, Parting's opening up with double Adepts from the gateways. Chrono boosting both to get them out as fast as possible. We'll want to use these for harassment and also for scouting, as his probe is doing that job currently. Sees the third base of his opponent down, knowing that he's not about to get rushed on 2 bases.
Sees the timing is a little bit late, and that's usually indicative of a speed opening, and that's exactly what Solar is doing. So these Adepts might find himself in a bit of trouble, and Solar is making 12 Zerglings, possibly to deal with these. Leaves the Watchtowers, sees the Adepts, sees the probe as well, possibly. But Parting just playing it safe and easy for now, going back home with those Adepts.
Yep, forces out a couple of units, forces out a reaction here potentially, then just returning back. Building 2 more. Warp Prism is the choice of tech from Parting.
Solar very eager to get the scout here. Sees that there is no third base yet. That makes perfect sense. It's such a wide open map that Protoss has to go for some sort of 2-base technology play before taking that third, and the Robo is the choice here from Parting.
And here come the Zerglings poking up this ramp.
Oh, will they get in though? It really doesn't look like it, but this is apparently a full wall up here on Central Protocol. A very nice setup here from Parting.
And Zerglings do back off. Warp Prism on the way. And we've seen what Parting did against Firecake earlier. He ravaged the mineral lines with high amounts of Adepts, and that is looking like it could be a choice for him here again.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. No Robotics Bay on the way just yet, despite Roaches and Ravagers being so common on this map, and especially in these positions as well. But that might be added on later on. But for now, Parting is prioritizing the Twilight Council and the Warp Prism here.
Well, nothing but drones after these 12 Zerglings were made coming out from Solar.
Oh, Immortal actually. Isn't that a little bit weird?
It is a little bit. It is indeed.
It could be one of those Showtime-esque Immortal all-ins, but then the Twilight Council doesn't make that much sense again. So I'm a little confused about this Immortal.
Oh.
You could just as well rush up to the Robotics Bay to get Disruptors out. So this is a little bit of a weird move to me, and here we see more gates.
We see more gates. Zealot Charge is what's being researched from that Twilight Council. Parting is starting to power up very nicely. Here comes the Warp Prism with 4 Adepts in it, looking clearly for the Mineral Line. Starts off fighting against a couple of Zerglings. Will win that, now takes the fight to the Queen.
This is looking more and more like the traditional Parting Soul Train as he's warping in a lot more sentries, but this time it has a special Legacy of the Void flavor to it. The enhanced Zealot Charge.
Will he go through the back rocks of his own base, through the back rocks of Solar, and up into the main?
That sounds very possible. Those Immortals will deal with it very, very quickly, and he could even use the Warp Prism to just elevator the units down. And most likely, though, I expect Solar's back rocks to be broken down at the very least.
Solar sees no third base. He still knows that Parting's on 2 at the moment. What is Parting doing behind closed doors? He's yet to find out, but he knows that he must start to prepare for some sort of defense. Here comes in the Overseer, and he's going to see Immortals and Zealots. He sees absolutely everything. And now it comes down to, can Solar build up enough units to get the defense ready and also take a good defensive engagement? Here it comes.
Lots of Roaches in production, Ravagers also being morphed. Solar staying on 5 gases. I would have loved to see a 6th one so we can make even more Ravagers. Ravagers are just such a strong unit when it comes to defending these types of attacks. But the Zealot Charge is also going to factor into this.
Is Parting going to win with his trademark push that we've seen over the years?
And how effective will these Zealots with Charge be?
We're about to find out as the engagement goes right on, head on, and the Roaches get kind of destroyed pretty fast here.
Everything's up against the force fields here, but the Ravagers are dealing so much damage here from behind.
And now the Immortals getting close and dealing their own damage as well. There's going to be another warping in a moment, and Parting looking pretty good here. He's got an army supply advantage,
though.
And he is pushing Solar back against the walls, and Parting in a beautiful strike and a perfectly executed strategy.
Look at this timing, and Solar is just split between his bases. He cannot get his army together, trying to micro as well as possible, but these Zealots are so fast that even on creep, the Zerg units cannot escape them. They're chasing down the drones, chasing down the Roaches. Solar is in so much trouble right now, despite having an even supply.
Cannot be touched at this point. Zealots charging in, and this is Parting at his very finest, using what he knows the best. And this is a complete disaster of a start for Solar. A wonderful start here for Parting as he charges through to the second base, and he is coming for a 2-0 start in this best of 7. And we see Solar microing with his heart out, but he knows and he sees that there is nothing to stop this. GG!
Wow, Parting showing an amazing build there. Only 2 assimilators. That's all Parting needed to get the technology he wanted and go for a brute force push backed up by so many gateways and that all-important Zealot Charge tech. Truly a unique build that I would definitely recommend to all the Protoss players out there playing on this map.
And the favorite of the tournament is just like that, down 0-2 already in this best of 7. Parting bringing out the best builds, the best strategies, and the best performance. He saved it till when it mattered the most in the grand final. Solar's up against it now, and he's been walked over so far.
Yeah, and at the same time though, this was so ballsy by Parting. Nexus first on Central Protocol. That's so dangerous. So he really shows here. He's not afraid.
He's pulled it off, and confidence is flowing with the Protoss player, looking for his 2nd Dreamhack championship within a year.
And here we see the first engagement.
And yeah, you can talk us through it a little bit here, Snood.
Yeah, look at all those Ravagers and Roaches being pinned up against those force fields. Sure, Parting, he only had 2 assimilators, and that means you don't have that many sentries to work with, but he had just the right amount of force fields to pin all of Solar's forces in between them and just let the Zealots charge forward with that buffed Zealot Charge. Like, it deals additional damage now on hit. And that way, with only 2 gases, he was able to reinforce with so many Zealots.
Yeah, and this is the ending move there, just picking up aim number 2. Great start here for Parting. Can't help but feel that, could Solar have done something different? Did he overdrone? Did he not have a large enough army? Was his creep spread not good enough?
He definitely had the creep spread, but what I feel, maybe he could have had a little less Zerglings maybe, perhaps a few more Queens. They are a bit more tanky, they deal better with Zealots, much better with Zealots. Those Zerglings just melt to the Zealot charge like it's nothing. And there could also have been a 6th Gas Geyser for Solar and a little bit lower of the drone count. That would allow him to make even more Ravagers. And those Ravagers, they are not armored, so they don't take that bonus damage from the Immortals. And they can also drop that Corrosive Bile that deals very well with the Zealots. So definitely I would like to see a bit more Ravager-centric army there from Solar.
All right, here we are, game number 3, as Party continues to wreck face in the grand finals. As down here in the bottom left-hand side, spawning in as the red Protoss player. It is that very man, it is Parting, looking on fire today. And then up here to the top, spawning in as the blue Zerg player from Samsung Galaxy Con, an already 2-time champion of Dreamhack, it's Solar.
This time, Solar bringing out the special build orders with a very early spawning pool here.
What is he looking to capture? Just the Nexus first opening?
Precisely. What do we see? It's Nexus first.
Well, let's hope he capitalizes. He's got the build that he wanted Parting to go for. Let's see if he can make this work. 6 Zerglings on the way to begin with.
No Queen just yet, so maybe we'll see an expand from here or some sort of proxy hatchery. The drone is here in Parting space. I'm a little confused by this. Is he going to drop something here to maybe block the wall off? No?
Oh, he's going towards the back.
Just going for an expand at home. All right.
Probe now sees what's going on.
Will Parting wall off though? I feel like perhaps maybe this was a little bit of a missed opportunity from Solar.
Well,
but
Solar's drone's gone back. He's in the wall.
No, he's blocking. It could have been a hatchery block, but didn't go for just that. And the Forge here to wall things off. I still feel like this was a little bit of a missed opportunity from Solar, but still, lots of Zerglings knocking on Parting's front door here.
All right, here come the Zerglings. They're going to try and break this down as fast as possible and get as much surface area as possible. The Zealot is on the way.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing something here, but I really feel like Solar truly botched this by not having the drone there. As now these Zerglings have to work their way through this wall off, and it's going to take so long.
Well, one pylon is down. Second one being targeted. Gateway on the way as well. Cannon's going to be put down immediately. Obviously, he has to keep this wall up. If he does, he would find himself in a pretty good lead. He's got a massive worker lead already.
Another thing to note, though, is that if this gateway falls and no cybernetics core has been placed, Parting will have to put down another gateway in order to start the cyber. But there we see it, though. Just in time before that gateway. It's so low.
And Solar working on that gateway again. Is he going to open up a big hole on this left-hand side? Second Zealot squeezes out. The gateway is going to fall.
And the cannon completes, and that's going to seal this defense here for Parting. A great defense and a little bit of a missed opportunity by Solar here. He could have been able to block that Forge from going down a lot sooner.
So would you say this is Parting in a lead because of this?
It's a little bit difficult to tell right now because Solar did a very good job of transitioning behind this, going for the double expansion, making drones, Queen on the way now as well. So right now, I haven't been in this scenario myself. It's a bit difficult to tell right now.
Well, one thing for sure is that Cybernetics core getting up nice and early.
Yeah, that's
always
so
nice.
important. If that Cybernetics core was not placed, if the gateway went down, I feel like Parting would have been very far behind. That technology play is so important for Protoss players. And having that cyber is going to be so helpful when it comes to clearing out these Zerglings at the front.
Well, what's next for both of these players? As Solar is up in terms of overall supply, but a lot of that is dead weight with these Zerglings at the front.
Yeah, I believe this game is going to slow down a little bit for the next few minutes as both players will just power up. The Zerg will get the double gases, make more drones, get that economy just powering up. And Parting going for the first tech choice here again, the Stargate.
Stargate. So far, it's always been the Oracle. We'll see if he follows that. It's a good time now to get on Twitter, of course, to hashtag #SetTheRules and hashtag DHW15 and let people know that the grand finals of the Legacy of the Void Championship here at Dreamhack Winter is underway as we look to crown the very first Swedish champion of Dreamhack here. One of these two Koreans going to be so. Which one? We'll find out. Overlord has spotted the Stargate, though. Good scout very early on.
Still a sacrifice though, and this Overlord getting sniped means that the scouting options for Solar later on are going to be quite limited, to be honest. And still has the Zerglings at the front though, so Solar will be able to, at least for a long while, be able to see the timing of Parting's third base. Second Ola though, sneaking in from the back.
Sneaking in. Cheeky Kalaris. And Zerglings do see that third now for sure. It has been planted down.
Yeah, and this is a very standard setup here in Legacy of the Void for Parting. Overlord there gets the confirmation on the Oracle, and Parting knows, chases that Overlord away, and a very, very good Spore Crawler timing here from Solar. That's going to help him defend against the incoming Oracle. And in the meantime, Solar is doing an amazing job of hitting all of his injects and just pumping out those drones at a high rate.
Yeah, already
Circling speed, layers finishing. Looking good so far.
And what does he choose though when the layer is complete? Does he want to play with a Hydralisk Den straight away? It's been one of his favored tech structures, but it is the Evolution Chamber and Roach Warren.
And the layer is done though, and the Spire is the choice again. We also saw this on Dusk Towers, that despite scouting the Stargate, seeing the Oracle, seeing that the Stargate was in play, just going straight for the Spire. And I think it's a good choice, to be honest, because it opens up the opportunities to at the very least deal with the Prism, and the Mutas will force the Protoss into Phoenixes. And if you're comfortable playing the long game as Zerg, then a Spire is certainly not a bad choice.
Well, it has not been spotted yet. Overseer's been morphed. I don't know how that Overseer survived next to a Void Wave, but the Overseer's going to go in and have a look what's going on inside this main base.
Sees no further production on the Stargate. That could prompt Solar into making a lot of Mutas, as he's saving up gas right now, only getting the melee upgrade and the circling speed, of course.
Yeah.
But except for that, despite Solar having a Roach Warren, he's not putting down the Hydra Den, he's not making Roaches, not making Ravagers, just saving that gas.
And in game number 1, when Museless was shut down, it was because Parting scouted the Spire in time and was able to get his defenses ready, but he hasn't seen it yet. He has a look inside
This looks
the main base.
So similar. The Oracle dropping the Revelation and sneaking in the back. We saw the same thing on Dusk Towers, but it seems like the Spire is in a different location this time.
And so we have no preparation for Museless. 11 of them are on the way.
Yeah, no
and
Spire
this
is
very
seen.
good news for Solar.
Parting is scouting ever so diligently against Solar here, but it just doesn't find a Spire just yet.
If he doesn't see it, he doesn't know it's on its way. Oracle finally spots the Spire, and now emergency alarm bells have to be ringing because he needs to get ready for this. Phoenixes start up again, cannon start, and he spotted it last minute, but was it early enough for him to be ready for this?
I would say this is definitely early enough. That last-minute scout was so important, but it is going to allow Parting to drop those cannons, to start those Phoenixes. But wow, look at these Mutas. They fly so fast.
They do. They're already on this third base. And going to do a little bit of damage where they can find. So Phoenix is continuing.
How did these links even get in?
Yeah, that should not be happening, but Adepts get warped in to deal with them. Museless on this third.
The pylon overcharge expired and the Mothership Core is completely out of position, dragged away by those Zerglings, and it's going to get picked off.
Oh, wow. This is really good news for Solar. He takes down 10 or so probes, continuing to take them down.
So many probes going down here and no mining in the third.
And behind this, he's adding on 18 Roaches. He's going for a massive strike onto this third, and he's trying to slow down the Protoss as much as possible with these Mutas and then completely switching out, and this is a big play.
Parting is in so much trouble. Solar is just playing around with these tech switches. These Mutas, sure, the Phoenixes can deal with them, but can the Phoenixes deal with 40 Roaches?
And a second Stargate and a bunch of Phoenixes, obviously, as you say, are not going to be that good against what we're about to see from Solar. And he's already up to 170 supply, rocketed up in terms of the high amounts of army that he now has. And these Phoenixes are scouting in the middle of the map. They see some Roaches, they see some Ravagers, and he must know that he has to defend this third base. But I don't think he has enough at this moment.
Even a couple of Phoenixes getting picked off there. The Mothership Core also has so little energy, and it's completely off position. No pylon overcharge, and there's Roaches and Ravagers are just running forward like it's nothing. There's nothing to stop them.
This is an absolutely wonderful play coming out from Solar. Going one way with his tech, then switching out immediately. And Parting is caught with his pants by his ankles. As we can see, this is going to be completely annihilated. And all of a sudden, Parting, who started this series so well, is now looking at his first loss in this best-of-7 finals. The third base gateways are going down, and there is nothing to stop these Ravagers.
Solar's macro just looking unstoppable here as he is ravaging Parting's third base, making it look easy.
Making it look easy, and with that Nexus going down, it's 2 base versus 4, and that is not what you want, and that is a big pickup and a big win. And now Parting trying to salvage the situation from this position, but Ravagers, they're firing away, and they are destroying everything here.
They can even destroy these force fields on the ramp itself and keep charging forward endlessly, relentlessly. Solar is just just waiting for Parting to die at this point, as
and
these
Parting
Ravages just shooting so much here from the ground.
Parting's waiting for a Disruptor to finally get back into this game. He gets one shot off, but it's not good enough. He takes down just a couple of the units at the start now, and with this wall broken, in comes the Swarm, in comes the Flood, and Parting is in trouble. Parting is in so much trouble, and Solar, excellent stop of the momentum of the Protoss Parting, and this is going to be Solar's victory as he marches forward into the main, and the Disruptor shot is not good enough. GG. Solar gets the game back, gets the name down on the scoreboard.
Solar with the early spawning pool there, dealing so much damage. It could have been even more powerful, I believe, but still, his way of transitioning and his way of macro in this game and the unit compositions that he utilized, the way that he hit his fire and then switched right out of it as Parting was trying desperately to prepare for these mutas. It's just wonderful.
This series is not over by any means, says Solar's. A remarkable comeback game, to be honest, the way this series was going, and he played it flawlessly from the very beginning to hiding the Spire in a new location to then switching out of it immediately upon knowing that Parting had seen it and was starting to react. A beautiful game.
I wonder if the timing of when Parting actually scouted the Spire factored into the tech switch itself. Like maybe because he was so last minute that maybe Solar would think that Parting would overreact. I'm not sure, but either way, just incredibly powerful macro play and a beautiful timing to just close out the game swiftly there by Solar.
Indeed, good performances from Solar, as we'll have a look inside this game in a quick second. But excellent news for all Zerg fans worldwide, as here is a clip as Parting goes in, sees the Spire, and right now is all about anti-air, stopping Mutalisks. The second Stargate is down, Phoenix is being made, losing the Mothership core there as well, and then all of a sudden 16 Roaches on the way. And that is a big switch up, a big power play, and the successful one that he needed.
Yeah, the Mothership core was just a little bit out of position. There was no pylon protecting the back of the third base's mineral line, and Solar just dealt too much damage with his mutas for Parting to hold on, and the tech switch was just way, way too strong. Curious to see how the next one is going to play out. It's going to be on Lairlac Crest, a 4-player map, and this is actually going to be Solar's choice here. Should go into this one with confidence, winning on Parting's map choice.
Game by game, getting closer and closer to finding out which one of these two will pick that trophy up, as it's now 2-1 to Parting in this best of 7. We're looking forward to see which player will be crowned the first Legacy of the Void champion here at Dreamhack. And now, can Parting keep himself together and not fall apart now that Solar's got a bit of momentum on his side? This 4-player map, though, is it favored to any of the two races? Would you say that Zerg is stronger on this map, Protoss is stronger on this map?
This is definitely a map where it's very easy to secure and hold on to 3 bases. But the thing that makes this map very unique is how difficult it is to secure a 4th. It's very wide open. You need to basically go down a very large ramp to secure it, and then there's a lot of open space. I think it's going to favor lurker usage more than anything else.
Okay.
But I feel like the game is definitely going to go very long because it's a very good map for defensive play. And unless Parting wants to try something crazy, like he showed with the charge salad timing, if he doesn't try something like that, then I expect it to be quite a long game, actually.
Okay, good one. Love myself some long games, love myself some lurkers, would be good to see, as we are just now almost ready for the next map of these two guys. Just a reminder for you as well, do make sure to hashtag set the rules for your chance to win some Roccat gear, and with that hashtag, do also do hashtag DHW15. You'll be put into a random draw for a chance to win some Roccat gear, which is, of course, the sponsor of the first Legacy of the Void Championship here at Dreamhack, with hopefully a lot more to come in the future. And hopefully get to see you on the other side up there on that stage in those booths competing for a chance to be a Dreamhack champion as well.
Yeah, it's everyone's dream to lift up that trophy. As you can see here, once more Solar with a big attack. This seems to be a composition that he's very familiar with, using a lot of Roach Ravager. We also heard him express in some interviews online that he believes that the Roaches and Ravagers are just so strong, feels like he cannot lose with them. So I'm very curious to see what type of unit composition Solar is going to use here in the next match.
And it looks like Parting has just stepped away for a quick second, taking a very brief break. And when you take these brief breaks as a player, obviously the #1 thing is more so, all right, I'm going to pop to use the bathroom. But do you think that there's a lot of thinking time during these breaks? You go over there, you take a bit of a walk, you get some water, you go over what just happened. What do you think could possibly be going through Parting's mind?
Most of the time, I think it's better not to think about too much. It's mostly just about getting the condition back on track. Like you said, just go to the bathroom, get some water, simple things like that to keep you focused on the game. Very rarely do we see players actually make adjustments. Just, you know, usually you want to stick to the plan, so you don't want to distract yourself too much. So most of the time, it's just practical things.
Here is Solar, of course, fighting for this marvelous trophy on stage. Imagine trying to grab that. That'd be an awesome feeling up there. Hopefully these two guys go mental when they are able to pick that trophy up and have some fun up there. But Parting right now is back in his booth, as you can see, as he now prepares himself to go to battle once again against this man, a two-time Dreamhack champion, has won twice in Sweden, twice in Stockholm, and is looking for his hat trick as he gets closer to the record, the history that has happened over the last 5 years in StarCraft II. One man stands above the rest over the last few years, and of course that was Team Liquid's Tasia, and this was his home field, this was his home tournament that he enjoyed, he came to, and seemingly couldn't stop winning it, but Solar is right behind him if he's able to get this victory.
Definitely one of the hottest rising stars of the scene here from Korea. Solar has had so many great results lately. But here though, in the top left of Larry Luck Crest, playing for Yoey Flash Wolves. Give it up for Parting!
And his opponent looking to change it up a little bit against Samsung Galaxy Khan Solar.
Going for that swift Speedling expand.
But the probe has decided to move out very early on
And scout out the Zerg.
And this is obviously great news here for Parting. The Nexus hasn't been planted yet, and he goes in and says, oh, hello.
And this is so fortunate for Parting. He was about to drop that Nexus, but this first initial scout, of course, credit to Parting for actually scouting. But this was a little bit of luck here. If Solar had started in any other position, say the top right, would have been perfect. Short rush distance, cross positions as well. The probe would not have been there in time, and Parting would most likely have gone for that Nexus first with the 400 minerals, but instead, double gateway.
Double gateway indeed, and he's going to prepare himself for Zerglings naturally at this point. 6 of them are on the way, and another Seth are coming down, so he's gone up to the 7th and 8th Zergling, and the probe on the natural here.
This was such an early scout, and Solar once again so unlucky. He saw the scout timing and knew that this probe reached Solar's base so fast, so surely it must be one of the close positions, right? Now he sees the pylon though. That Overlord was actually turning around. And Solar slings, they're in no man's land right now.
No,
even getting the natural block.
This is crazy. What a start here for Parting. He gets the very early build order from Solar. He blocks the second base from being put down as well, and this is a dream start. That bathroom break was perfect. And again, comes in with the probe and gets another pylon down, and this is a disaster.
Yeah, Solar realizes that even the Zerglings at the front, there's no use for him to press forward because there's no Nexus to attack. And this little build order choice from Solar is just not paying off right now.
Eventually he can expand, but oh, he's even blocking himself here. Every
These
second
Zerglings,
counts.
such rebels, they don't want to do what they should be doing.
And now we have a Stargate inside the main base. Slowly, Parting's going to be wanting to take his Nexus, but he's in no rush considering how well this has started.
Solar Zerglings seem to be a little bit eager though. As the evolution chamber goes down, the Overlord gets into position. Solar's going to go for a Zergling drop here, and a little bit weird Stargate positioning there, actually revealed.
Yeah, it should have been further back. That's actually just a small mistake, unfortunately.
But they stalk it though.
Pushing the Overlord back.
Solar left with no reasonable options here except for expanding. It's a good choice, but even putting down the Spore a little bit too soon, it's way too soon. So that's going to eat into his economy even further, as he will not be able to produce drones and queens at the rate that he might want.
Very unlucky start here for Solar, and Parting reaping all the benefits now. Is going to expand very shortly, very safe. Knows that he has an Oracle to slow Solar down even further at this point.
It is very important, though, that Parting does not delay this for too long. He definitely needs that Nexus in order to keep up with the triple hatchery economy that Solar's hatcheries are about to provide.
And there it is down. And the Oracle is out and on its way to the other side of the map. And you can just see how far Solar is behind that Nexus. Oh, sorry, the hatchery's only just now finished in the second base. Here comes the Oracle.
Now the second spore is starting as well. This spore in the main has been ready for quite some time. The laser's going down there, killing one drone.
Just one.
Just one. A couple of drones trying to transfer and they get punished for it. 3 drones in total, that's good, but not really. You want to get so much more.
It's good, but
it's good. It's
not
good
so
only
good.
because it's only good because Solar's drone count is so low already.
Yeah. And second Oracle now being made, as well as the robotics facility just hit, which has not been spotted yet. As Solar pokes forward now, he does see it. He sees the robotics facility, now starts, or will need to start mentally preparing for what this could mean and what this is.
Robotics facility going down for Parting as well. I believe there's no chance for Solar to actually scout this. So I think
he saw it. He saw the robotics
it?
facility, yeah, with the Zerglings.
All right then, but it could still be so many different things. Parting could expand, could go for the War Prism drop, War Prism Adept, Disruptor drop. But I'm kind of feeling an Immortal all in here if there's no further technology on the way. Sure, Parting has the Stargate, but then we see the Forge.
Oracles come in 2 by 2, take down 2 drones easily.
Yeah, I have to say Solar's defense when it comes to the drones here has been quite good so far, only losing 6 drones in total.
He's going to lose a couple more now. 4 have gone down with this secondary attack coming out.
That makes it a total of 7 drones lost, and I feel like slowly but surely Solar is making his way back into this game, but Parting is still so far ahead in technology.
And a good pickup of these Zerglings. The robotics bay is down, so it looks like Disruptor Tech is where we're headed for Parting. And Solar starting to get that creep spread. He's starting to get his economy properly online now as he crosses the 50 drone mark. But Parting still with an advantage, no doubt, because of the way this game has opened up. And what is he going to do now? He's actually accrued a good amount of adepts as he pokes forward with an observer as well.
That's quite a lot of adepts. I wonder if they could have accomplished something a little bit sooner in combination with these Oracles. A little bit of a weird AFK move here on these Oracles, but they do get away as these adepts now are charging forward to kill even more drones. But they're finally the lair. That's such a late lair from Solar here. Really far behind in technology. This is going to leave him very passive for a long amount of time, only being able to make drones, Zerglings and Roaches. Yeah, that's so find himself a little bit trapped.
He's got to be careful not to lose too much. Does not want to give this advantage away. He's losing 1 or 2 of these adepts very easily.
Yeah, definitely overstaying is welcome there, but with those shades escaping, Parting saves most of his adepts.
And then they do back off. Disruptor number 1 is on the way, and it's going towards the Warp Prism. So we are going to see some Disruptors drops into the mineral lines.
Oh, wow. All of a sudden, so many units coming in from Solar. And a Stasis Trap going down to trap some of them. Quite possibly. But Solar knows that there is no third base, so I'm not sure why exactly he's pushing this so hard. But it could just be a little bit of fake pressure as he's making drones behind this. Going after those 6 gases, getting that Spire technology finally. But it's very important for him not to take too much damage to this gravitic drive speed warp prism with disruptors.
Absolutely, it could be huge, the amount of damage that this has potentially able to do. And here we go, it's going to dart in. What is he looking at? Drones, units.
Queens
goes towards the main base here.
Trying to get a shot off, but not working so far. Gets 1 drone.
Not the best of hits there.
Yeah, quite a lackluster shot there, I would say. But a second disruptor is on the way, and that's going to enable Parting to ramp up the harassment even further, as he's also getting the +1 weapons upgrade. And Solar getting ready with the Spire, Roach Speed, just keeping up that technology and economy development, almost at 66 workers.
And looks like one of the admins here, unfortunately, is disconnected from the game, so we're just going to have to wait 30 seconds for that countdown to complete. We can get back in. But overall, how would you address Solar's position after that bad start? Is he recovering? Has he recovered?
I would definitely think that after such a failed opening and so many Zerglings being produced without really accomplishing anything, that he would be further behind. Now the supplies actually look quite reasonable. 113 for Solar against 91 of Parting. definitely those adepts not really accomplishing much. That helped, and the oracles. I feel like those oracles were an investment that truly didn't pay off in terms of worker damage at the very least.
And right now, likewise, the oracles, perhaps the disruptors as well for the time being. They haven't done near as much as he would have liked.
Yeah, the harassment from parting this game, he had the units, but the execution was just a little lackluster.
Look at that.
Maybe
Loses an oracle easily as well.
yeah, maybe it's just Solar's defense being that great, but I can't help but feel that parting could control this a little bit better. Could be those nerves playing in. Couple of Zerglings moving up here, testing the waters, seeing if it's safe to move up. Revelation going down on the hatchery, not going to see too much right now.
Well, the Spire is almost completed, and I don't think it's been spotted once again.
Oh, that's going to be bad news for parting.
No, he hasn't. He has not seen it at all. And at the moment, it's 13 roaches instead of the Spire. Maybe he'll use it a little bit later on, but that's a high amount of roaches being built.
At the same time, though, look at this. Blink and Phoenixes in production. It seems like parting has at least some idea that it would be wise to get some anti-air capabilities here.
Well, these roaches and lings have broken into this Nexus over. He's got to be very careful because disruptors are not far.
And those, there's one sentry as well, which could force field. Drops one, but it's way, way too late. A little sloppy there. Bit of a waste of energy because parting doesn't have that many sentries.
And he's got
only
definitely
one.
making a couple of mistakes here. Warps in 3 additional sentries. The warp prism, though, loaded up with 2 disruptors. And there is a lot of units in the middle of the map here.
If this prism were to run into the mutas.
No.
So many Ravagers. I'm so surprised that Solar went for the Ravager tech here instead of going for those mutas. I don't know if he saw the Stargate producing Phoenix or something, and maybe that made him not go for it after all.
The Oracle again putting another status ward to protect this third base. Will lock down and trap a couple of units that get hit by it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Solar's getting the 4th base. It's actually up already with the gases 7 and 8, allowing him to make a lot of technology units, such as the Lurker. The Lurker then almost being complete here.
Just a very expensive load in that Warp Prism as Hydros were chasing it down. At the same time, Parting is on creep with a couple of disruptors himself. The army supply heavily in favor of Solar. Parting needs to be very careful with what he's doing.
This is a very low amount of disruptors as well. I'm very concerned for Parting right now. It's better to stay behind here on these bases where it's much easier to defend. These disruptors though. And the stasis trap. No. Locks in a few roaches though, and they can be swiftly executed later with those disruptors.
Is he going to hit the timing here? It's very easy. You can see the countdown on these units. He's going to surround them by the looks of it.
Yeah. And in the meantime, Solar just macroing, getting those lurkers, spreading that creep. The creep has actually reached almost halfway on this map. This roach is going to get picked off. Poor things.
Yeah, nice and easy catch there. 2 disruptors though inside this warp prism. Is he going to finally get some big hits down? He hasn't had anything yet, and 1 ball goes in, and that's a pretty decent hit. 5 workers, 7 workers in total, then backs off.
Quite good. Meanwhile, just testing the waters here, not extending too far on creep. I like that, just taking things very slow and easy. A little bit supply blocked. Unfortunately, Parting is unable to produce any additional disruptors. And Solar's, wow, with a very cute and nice small move out here, denying this 4th, forcing the cancel. Very nice timing here by Solar, just sending a few roaches to the top.
Yeah, perfectly timed there. Very well done.
But he will lose the roaches for it, though. That's a very
But at the same time,
trade.
Solar is actively moving up. And this is huge because Parting is majorly out of position, and there are lurkers this time.
Such a simple mistake, and all the lurkers burrowing next to the disruptors.
And they don't do too much there. Lurkers absolutely everywhere, and he moves his lurkers, and now Parting in a lot of trouble. This is a great position for Solar.
Parting locked out of his very own base here, as all the lurkers are moving up. And he has to move all the way back here with his slow Protoss units, completely caught off position here.
This is a brilliant move from Solar, and he traps Parting, and Parting's got to come back to defend. He sends 1 disruptor ball in. It gets a bit of a hit. Photon overcharge everywhere on the left-hand side on these pylons. And is Parting defending? Another disruptor ball goes in.
I have to say, only losing 8 probes so far. Very impressive by Parting. Those lurkers not really dealing that much economic damage, and big disruptor shots there.
He's got to be careful though, but he's slowly dealing with this, and I think this is a remarkable defense considering the circumstances. He's going to take down another lurker.
Yeah, considering the army supply, this was a brilliant hold by Parting.
And he's catching a couple of lurkers.
Catching the lurkers, killing the overseers, and even some overlords going to supply block Solar here.
Wow, that looked like Solar had him in a perfect position.
Oh man.
But Parting with the recovery.
He was so far out of position. I expected a recall, but no, he just kept it calm, moved back, and he held. Absolutely crazy.
And now he pushes forward onto the edge of creep. He's got to come back to deal with these roaches, and Solar needs to start thinking what his next plan is. Currently, he's just rebuilding what he lost. More Roaches, more Ravagers, more Lurkers.
And this is exactly what we talked about earlier before this game began. How difficult.
Oh, some big hits coming out from Parting. Takes down high amounts of units. And that is excellent. That's exactly what he needs. And wow, Solar tried a very similar move to what he did, but the Disruptors were waiting. And they had some game-winning strikes.
Yeah, despite the fourth being so difficult to protect here, Parting is actually staying in this game with style. He's controlling so well against the Lurkers here. Couple of Lurkers on the Watchtower though, dealing a little bit of damage, but these Disruptor shots are going to deal with them. No?
Oh, he missed, unfortunately. You've got to be a little bit careful. He's had some good fights, but he doesn't want to overextend in the middle of the map here as he is being chased out.
Yeah, by keeping this position in the middle, he's preventing any further move-outs from Solar. He doesn't want Solar to go up to the top and drag Parting out of position. But now Parting is moving himself out of position almost with these Blink Stalkers in the bottom and the Disruptors as well. And that leaves his fourth base very, very exposed.
Oh, he catches one Lurker.
Oh, no. This is so ambitious. And look at all those Stalkers fall. That's a massive hit there for Parting, losing so many of them.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. I know he loves his forward
and he's
blink.
losing the fourth. And the Mothership Core was in production as well.
And
Parting, he's in so much trouble.
This has gone from looking okay to looking pretty bad for Parting as he's still on the other side of the map.
This move out on the left-hand side of the map was a disaster for Parting.
And now DTs are getting shut down as well. That's not working. He gets two Disruptor hits onto a couple of Lurkers on the high ground. And as you can see, the supply difference heavily favoring Solar, who's still on the other side of the map with Roaches. He's losing Disruptors. He's got to be so careful. DTs are being defensive and are keeping him away from his third. Parting continues to try to push forward.
Yeah, these DTs are the MVPs of this match. Without them, it would be much more difficult for Parting to hold on. But now he's actually pushing Solar using these Disruptors. I can't believe it.
And he's pushing. He's still a little bit less in supply. And he's going to get a big hit there onto the Roaches. But still, 4 Lurkers doing some DTs. Still chasing all the way from the other side of the map. Another Disruptor hit into the Lurkers and continued warpers as Stalkers.
Can't believe how Parting is doing it. He's up in army
supply. The Lurkers, he's absolutely crazy. But he's going to go for it. He's got a supply lead. And passing continues to assault. GG, Parting goes up 3-1. And this guy...
Incredible. I was so sure that was a tactical blunder, but Parting proving me wrong. Such an amazing attack there.
He is so aggressive and he does not care. He blinks, he jumps, he sees the army and goes right on top of it. It's like he's disregarding the Lurkers that are there. They deal so much damage. But Parting again making things happen out of thin air.
I can't believe it. Just the way he moved down so recklessly on the left-hand side of the map when he knew that the Zerg army was on the right. It's unbelievable.
And now he's one game away from defeating a player who's looked pretty much unstoppable throughout the last 3 days. And I can't believe the turnaround of events that we're seeing here in the grand finals. I think 95% of people are, all right, well, this tournament's over. Solar's got this one in the bag. He can't be stopped, but Parting is standing in his way and is now one game away from ripping the championship away from the favorite.
I have to give credit to Solar, though. That was a pretty impressive comeback, considering how much trouble he was in with the opening.
Yeah, and here's the hold from Parting. He blinks left, he sends his Disruptors in. He's got 3 pylons overcharged.
And this is what's so difficult about these Lurker attacks. If you don't have the Lurkers in the exact right positions, they actually don't shoot. There's a few Lurkers on the right, especially the one in the bottom right. They're not really accomplishing much right now. So maybe the Lurker positioning just wasn't there from Solar, and Parting just executing his control so flawlessly. Popping those Guardian shields, using those Disruptor shots to great effect, controlling them individually.
Yeah, some massive
everything
hits.
at once.
And now Parting, one game away, a single map away from claiming first place, that trophy, and of course the $20,000 first place prize. And Solar now has his work cut out. He's almost self-proclaimed the #1 Legacy of the Void player currently. He feels he's the best, he's performed the best, but right now in this very tournament, he is underperforming to what he has done over the last month. He's looked absolutely dominant, but right now, the victory is in Parting's reach.
Solar looking unstoppable so far up until this point. But the next map, though, is a very small one. It's going to be on All Arena, a very good map for aggressive Zerg play. And I think Solar might have something special prepared for this one.
Well, let's hope so. He needs some special plans to crawl into this series once again as we're loaded into map number 5 of 7. Up here to the top left-hand side, spawning in as the red Protoss player. Make some noise for Partik!
And if you want to see Zerg succeed, you want to be cheering for this guy in blue. It is Solar! What are these players going to do? Early probe scout here from Parting, not opting for the block on the hatchery, and Solar will be able to actually go for that 17 hatchery. The standard Zerg opening, no block there from Parting, who instead seems to go for the Nexus first of his own. Could very well have blocked that base, but it would have been a little bit dangerous because of how their earlier game played out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It was on this very map that Solar went for an early pool, and Parting tried to block an expansion that didn't even want to exist. But this time around, Parting playing it safe. Very respectable and confident choice. Going all the way into the main and sacrificing that block of the hatchery on the low ground.
Now Solar
going for the safe Nexus first into Gateway, double gas in the main.
Overlord sees this all as well.
Third base being blocked though. Very good move by Parting here. Going to delay that for a little bit. And currently no gas in response to this. Just going for the triple hatchery gasless Zerg style. One of the most common ways to play PvC or CVP right now.
Well, this is a highly pressured situation now for Solar. A very comfortable one for Parting, obviously. He's got room for error, room for mistakes. But Solar has nothing, no room at all. But here we go. Let's start to see how this shapes up. The cybernetics core is down. The probe is going to leave as he's done his job of harassment and scouting and figuring out what exactly Solar's up to. He returns back and is going to hold his Alnogi tower for now. And what are the choices of strategy going to be? The opening build orders now have fully unfolded. But where do we go, Snoot? Where do we go? No gas is taken yet from Solar.
No second Gateway, one of the builds that we saw used the most versus Zerg in this tournament, and that usually means some sort of technology, the Stargate in the back here for Parting. So much Stargate usage in this series so far. I'm a little bit amazed.
Especially considering that the previous series they played, it was almost non-Stargate.
Yeah.
It was pure Robo.
Yeah, just in this tournament in general, not really seen all that much Stargate play, except for the 2 Stargate from Showtime and a few others. So very cool to see like a bit more of a traditional Heart of the Swarm Oracle opening setup.
Yeah, game shifting a little bit just throughout this tournament as players feeling each other out and feeling what's the best way to approach the matchup currently.
But one thing's for sure though, this Oracle is not going to get scouted, and the air distance on this map is so short. Oh, there you have it, there you have it.
You say that, the Overlord goes in.
I jinxed it.
You did jinx it indeed, as the Oracle is going to get spotted. A good scout here from Solar, coming around the backside.
Going to have those spores in time, almost a bit too soon again. But better too soon than too late.
That is right. That's a good scout from Solar. Nice preparation early on, still droning very heavily at this point. There are a couple of units pushing forward from Partin.
This is the same type of push that he used on the Dusk Towers map, the one Zealot and the Adept as well. And then the Oracle's coming in. I wouldn't be surprised to see a second Oracle, but just a third base and a Forge. And wow, was that a creep tumor?
It was.
It's a little bit of trouble here for Solar.
Here comes the Oracle.
The Queen defense a bit more difficult. Gotta stay close to that Spore Crawler if he wants to defend this as well as possible.
He's actually using the Oracle to take down these Zerglings to assist these Adepts. Adepts throw their hallucinated cells into the main base. He's going to teleport over there.
Oracle getting dangerously low there.
He does teleport in, and he's already picked off 4 drones. He's going to town here, 5.
Oh, the Spore even blocking some of the surface area, but a little bit of a misclick on the spawning pool as well from Parting.
Well, 6 workers have gone down. He takes a 7th as well.
Oh, small mistakes here from both players, but this was a very nice attack from Parting.
Especially considering the speed of his third Nexus. It's fully established with pylons untouched, which means the Mothership Core can defend it nice and easy. An Oracle and Void Ray still around to protect it as well. So a good position to be in.
The classic 2-base transition here. Robotics and Twilight following this third base here from Parting. Zerglings still very slow, unable to do much versus this overcharge here from the Mothership Core.
Speed about to finish for these Zerglings as they look to deal anything. And They're not going to achieve anything here. The photon overcharge activated on that pylon. Push these back. Oval is being cleaned around by parting, and it is the Spire choice once again.
Oh, no. The Oracle goes down, and that's going to limit Parting's options here when it comes to scouting the Spire.
And what does he do now? He doesn't know what's going on. I think he just cancelled Blink, by the way, and went over for the Adept upgrade instead.
At least the Warp Prism here. I like this choice a lot because it's going to allow Parting to at least get into Solar's main base somehow. This Void Ray, of course, is nice, but now it's just preventing scouting on Solar's Parting's side of the map, excuse me. This Void Ray probably will not be able to see that Spire, though.
Currently very limited anti-air, but a Phoenix does start from Parting. He has not 100% for sure seen that Spire.
Void Ray going down to poke the gas a little bit. Not going to accomplish too much here. Gets warded away by this Queen.
Is he expecting Spire plays? Added on another cannon. It would be a pure guess at this point if he is starting to prepare for it.
Yeah, Solar
incredibly risky.
Solar having been very clever not to reveal too many units. If he kept making Zerglings, it would be very obvious as to what was happening, but he's only showing a limited amount of Zerglings at the front.
Crazy. Parting's predicting this. He's anticipating it. Even though he hasn't seen it for sure and hasn't got confirmation, but he's still building Phoenixes. He's adding on cannons in good locations. Can't believe this. We see 9 Mutalists on the way, backed up by a couple of Corruptors.
Great presence of mind here from Parting, but his tech choice is not the very best for dealing with this. There's no second Stargate.
Yeah.
The Twilight, it initially went for the Blink, but it was cancelled, and now he's getting the Resonating Glaives instead. And that's not what you want to have against Mutas. I mean, it's great against the Zerglings, but...
He sees for sure the Void Ray goes down, and Parting goes back to building more Phoenixes. Second Stargate is down, more cannons have been added on. He's got a couple, and with Warpins perhaps, and the Photon Overcharge can keep this at bay for now.
The very scary sentries with the Guardian Shield there. Pylon Overcharge going off again, and this is a very solid defense so far from Parting.
And this has bought enough time to get a third Phoenix out.
Disruptors as well, getting ready for any ground army.
Switch up, which we saw previously with the Roaches, but it is pure air for the time being. An attack coming in here from Solar. Takes down a sentry or two, but it's got to be very careful. He lost quite a few Zerglings on the ground.
A couple of Corruptors as well. I didn't see those get produced, but they are on the field now, and they will be able to tank very well against these Phoenixes.
And a 5th base going down for good economy.
I think this is amazing. Solar, unlike the previous game, he's not transitioning right now. He's sticking to this Sky Zerg style.
Yeah.
So this fleet beacon from Parting is on point.
And so far, so good for Parting to take this 4-1. It's going that way, but let's see what Solar could do. He comes into the natural. He looks for the probes. He's going to get a couple. No, just one. Backs off again. But the Phoenixes, and they haven't been revealed as well, which I think is super interesting here. Now they are going to be. Solar sends one in, and
that prompts some additional Corruptor production here. Solar committing further to the Corruptors, not getting the infestation pit for that scary hive tech with the Vipers and the Parasitic Bomb, just sticking on Corrupted Muta as if it was Heart of the Swarm here.
Taking this game to the skies.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be Corruptors more being added on. Pure Phoenixes, the range so incredibly fast here. One Phoenix does go down. Nice grab there from Solar.
Multiple Corruptors on the way, and Solar is climbing in supplies. His worker count is insane here, 83 workers. He's soon to be running on 10 gases, I believe.
Very, very healthy indeed. One single Zergling spots this, and I think he's going to turn his attention to deny a very easily taken base. This may trigger Parting to come out and defend, but does he have enough to actually defend it?
Yeah, Parting has to defend this perfectly. Is he going to give up this 4th?
He comes in with his Phoenixes. They don't have range yet, but they're in high numbers. He loses one Phoenix. He's going to lose almost a second, and he's going to try and defend this.
Yeah, Adept's putting in a lot of work against the Zerglings here, but look at this, the 4th going down.
Oh, he's got a Disruptor in there. How is he going to use it? I don't think he's going to use it at all, but here we go. We're going to have a fight taking place, and the Phoenix is fighting around, but the Mulas are so high in numbers that I don't think he's got enough on the ground to actually deal with it.
Yeah.
And Solar, in Parting, trying to defend this 4th base location, probably was not the right choice to do so, as he couldn't defend it. And now he's lost his army, and he's lost his 4th.
Too much too soon, too many Disruptors. There was not really a whole lot on the ground for Solar, only Zerglings. You don't need Disruptors against Zerglings. Adepts and Zealots alone, even Zealots, they deal with them very well.
And now the Phoenix range is done, but there's hardly any Phoenixes left, and that base goes down, and Solar on the comeback. He sends in a Disruptible. He's going to get a lot of these Zerglings, but the problem is in the air, and the air cannot be stopped at this point. He takes down the Mothership Core, and Solar waypointing units after unit over to this position, and he's breaking into the 3rd, and now Corruptor zoning out. GG! Solar turning this back again in his favor. It's still 3 due to parting, but Solar's not out yet.
All it takes is one more win from Solar to bring this to match point. Looking very, very strong there on Arena with that Sky Surge style, as we know from many of those Heart of the Swarm games.
Oh, parting. So, I mean, there's many a way to look at where you could resume the game and come back and make an alternate decision. But the one that stands out the most, surely, is the decision to go out and attempt to defend a base that wasn't up and running yet, it wasn't functional, he knows the importance of it.
And also the choice to make Disruptors and Phoenixes at the same time, despite having a decent army on the ground as well, and already having completed the Resonating Glaives upgrade on the Twilight Council, it's a little too much firepower against the ground when you needed everything to combat the sky.
And here's the decision to try and save this. He's sending over probes to go work there, but as you can see,
Phoenix range was not complete either.
Phoenix range not complete, Corruptor's zoning the Phoenixes out.
Guardian Shield is powerful in head-on fights like this, but still, there was not enough on the ground to actually deal with this. The Disruptors just stand there doing nothing, except for soaking a little bit of those Muta bouncing glaives. But yeah, just overwhelming power here from Solar in the skies. Harding is able to keep up and protect his fourth. A little bit questionable there, going for that robotics tech. So, you know, he was committing so much to it when he really shouldn't have been.
I mean, that's the beauty of StarCraft. There's so many different things that we can go back and look at that could have changed. Let's go back 5 minutes before that. What happens if the Oracle didn't die? What happens if you saw the Spire earlier?
Yeah, losing that Oracle really limited the scouting options for parting here. And he was kind of going on a middle-of-the-road approach there, and it didn't pay out against Solar's very pure and clean Sky Surge composition.
Now we are going to our favorite map next. It's going to be Prion Terraces, the gold-based map that everybody loves to watch and play on. Maybe that's not true, but we'll see. Here we are, up here to the top left-hand side, spawning in as the red Protoss player. Still 1 game away from victory. It's parting.
Having to win 2 more maps to take home the trophy. Give it up for the Blue Zerg, Solar. Spawning in the bottom right of Prion Terraces, the ever so feared gold-based map.
Ever so much.
How is he going to approach this? Oh. Cheeky Kalaris.
Cheeky Kalaris. We've got a bit of a cheeky build coming out.
And this time around, Solar is not going for that drone to the right, hatchery first to the gold.
It's not, and is this the game-winning move? Is this the game-winning move? The drone, though. This drone, though.
And it's scouted.
But it wasn't revealed at the same time here.
Ooh.
He doesn't show that he knows. He pulls back. And is this what allows Solar to go to match point to game 7?
It depends on his execution. If this is, and look at this fake probe scout from parting. Solar has to be laughing to himself right now of this fake probe scout.
Does Solar, I mean, there's not too much you could change in this build. It's already down there.
It's hatchery.
Will he be okay?
Yes, very standard. He should be okay. I mean, if there's one build to stop this with, it has to be this one. I mean, of course, you have builds like 12 Pool, which would be able to shut down the pylon.
Yeah.
But Solar is going to show us here. This is going to be a very educational game for all our ladder experiences in the future on how to defend this attack from parting.
All right, well, obviously a lot of Zerglings are going to be made very, very early on. A spine crawl in the main base as well, because all it is about for Solar is getting a high amount of Zerglings and just overwhelming at this moment.
What's this? An expansion? No? Maybe?
I think we're in a maybe zone.
Waiting with those zealots. Parting still doesn't know that Solar knows.
And here we go. First 3 zealots get shown in Solar, as we already knew about this. More zealots are on the way.
So far, Solar seems to just be sacrificing this natural, or is he just waiting for the Zerglings to then come and protect it?
Oh, this Nexus is down on this.
This
He's going to catch the zealot. The zealot's trying to run away and find an area where he can
Meanwhile, the Nexus is going down for parting back at home.
And there's Zerglings are on the other side of the map. Are they going to come back? Are they going to try to defend this?
Oh, that's so greedy by parting. He's going to lose all of the Zealots here at home. And without the Cyber Core, I don't think he will be able to protect this massive swell of Zerglings.
Spinecrawler moving down. Zerglings are now splitting their forces. They're still waiting. Zerglings speed not far away from finishing. It is pure Zerglings at this point.
Oh.
And if Solar just crushes all these Zealots and goes to the other side of the map, I'm not sure that parting can get a war up in time.
Maybe Solar is just going to counter immediately.
He's going, he's going. He's on the other side of the
Yeah.
map. He's got a Spinecrawler Queen and 18 additional Zerglings to help protect this.
Parting being so greedy with this. Going for the Nexus before the Cyber?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to game number 7. I don't want to curse it, but right now it's looking like it as Solar gets towards the pylon.
Oh, it's
and
speed
Parting's
complete.
in so much trouble. Zergling speed is complete. There's a lot of Zealots here.
These Zealots don't have charge. They're not that strong against the Zerglings
Look at
just
this.
yet.
There's nothing over here. There's nothing.
Oh, no. This is a disaster for Parting. Going for that Nexus before the Mothership Core?
And here we go. Zealots are going to go for the attack. Zerglings move back towards the Spinecrawler, but they're going down. And this is going to push us to game at number 7. Parting, what have you done? You've decided to do this, but it is Game 7 is upon us.
Solar putting on the amazing display there on how to deal with this proxy and just how to scout and open in general on this map. This is the thing about Solar. He's so solid. No cheese can rock this guy.
That was a great hold and a more importantly, great scout. To see it, he sent a drone up there, and now it all comes down to one single map to decide first place and second place, to decide $10,000 or $20,000, to decide, unfortunately, a loser and a champion. A big moment for both sides now. It's going to be on a big, juicy map, Ruins of Ceres. We love a big map to finish this one up. But wow, what a decision from Parting. It could have been a game-winning, could have been a tournament-winning decision.
It could have been a tournament-winning decision, but against a player as experienced as Solar, in a high-pressure situation in a tournament like this, I'm not so sure.
And this was the simple decision from Solar to split up, to get into the mineral line.
I mean, going for the proxy itself, sure, but expanding before getting the Mothership Core. Parting's main base was exposed to counterattacks all game long.
Good wraparound, sealed the deal. And that was that. A very simple game
Solar
number 6.
making this look oh so easy. Not sacrificing his natural, even just buying time, using the slow Zerglings at first, then using these speedlings, and most importantly, stopping droning at a very, very appropriate time.
Which one of these two will take that trophy? They've taken championships before at Dreamhack, but now a lot of thoughts, a lot of builds, strategies. What will they choose that will be the difference between winning and losing now, as they both prepare for one final time this evening after 3 days of action? 24 StarCraft players joined us on day 1. We cut them down to half, ready for day 2, where we had 12 start, and we then came down to 6 on day 3. And finally, we are here with only 2 left, Solar and Parting, all for that trophy. And here we go, game 7.
Spawning in the bottom left here. Match point on Ruins of Ceres. It is Parting.
And down up here as the Blue Zerg player playing for Samsung Galaxy. It's Solar.
Down to one map to decide who's going to be the champion here.
Yes,
The very first Premier Legacy of the Void tournament here at Dreamhack.
Absolutely crazy. It's been a great tournament. We've seen some of the best StarCraft games in a very, very long time. And it feels very right to finish this one with a 7-map final. Of course, hopefully, and I'm sure a lot more Legacy of the Void tournaments to come around the corner as we near the end of 2015 and enter a new era in 2016.
And oh my, double gateway.
To start this off, he's not scouting in the right direction, and Solar has seen
And this
where
is
Parting in as this hit his Overlord.
This is a different type of double gateway. This is not the double gateway we know with the expansion. This is double gateway straight into Cyber. And then possibly Parting has something special prepared here. Solar, on the other hand, he saw Parting nice and early. Great scout there with the Overlord, seeing Parting in the first position, going for that horizontal expansion layout, and currently no gas as of yet. Just going for that safe, tried and true triple hatchery before spawning pool.
Yeah.
Approach, but there we see the gas as well. That's going to be very, very useful against this double gateway before expansion play.
What do you think about the gas on the second base here instead of inside the main?
It's just a minor detail, and it's not going to matter all too much.
What happens if Parting never spots it? Is that not something you can use?
That is true. But still just a minor detail. It's not going to affect the game too much, as most of the time the Protoss is going to make units to deal with initial pressure. I know.
What?
Did Parting scout the third base? Possibly, I'm not sure. No, he didn't. Solar, whoa. I think Solar is being indecisive here. He's going for the gas.
He sees it's still one base, right?
Yeah. Yeah, excuse me. I was thinking in, regular game terms.
But he's seen that
he sees that the natural is so delayed that he's just saying, okay, let's stick to 2 bases. So good choice from Solar there.
What is Parting's plan? I mean,
1 base, 2 more gates in the robo.
There's a lot
Parting
of
is going to 1 base this all game long, and Solar is just staying on his 2 bases.
I mean, he instantly grabs these attempts, and I don't know what Parting's thinking. He goes in and it loses 2 instantly. What is he doing?
What are you doing here?
Zergling speed's on its way. Warp Prism also coming out from Parting. What is he looking to achieve here?
This Overlord sees everything as well. Parting didn't open with Stalkers to actually remove this Overlord from the field, and this is starting to look very dire for Parting. If Solar had the experience to defend the cheese in the last game, I mean, surely he must have the experience. He's played so many games of practice. Surely he must have the experience to defend this 1-base build as well.
Is there a back-out plan from this one, Parting?
This is just a 4-gate. This build has been around since the beginning of time in StarCraft II.
There's Queens, there's Zerglings, there's a Spine Crawler.
Sure, it's with a Warp Prism, but it's still a 1-base 4-gate.
And Solar has got so many units here. He's got Zerglings to counter pressure Parting at the moment.
And there's no Mothership Core to actually overcharge these pilots.
The warping comes, but the Warp Prism is obviously going to be a target here for the Queens. The Adepts come in.
Gas is on the way, but no Roach Warren just yet. Adepts are insanely powerful against Zerglings. Shifting over into the natural.
And there's a lot of Zerglings here, and they got speed, and they're going to get a wraparound, and the cooldown is on. No, it's now off.
Ooh, nice position behind the mineral lines, though. Parting doing a great job putting the Adepts where they take minimal damage.
And so far, not really too much dealt here by Parting. He's getting a couple of drone kills here and there, but he's getting so shut down. And
oh, no. This is a horrible build choice from Parting. Nothing is working his way so far.
And he's chrono boosting his gateways. He warps in or will warp in another round and attempt to frontal attack, but there's 40 Zerglings out with more on the way. 4 Queens, the Spinecrawler repositioning itself back here.
Parting needs that critical mass of Adepts, but right now I'm not sure if he will ever be able to reach it. Sure, there's a lot of them though.
There's a lot of them, and he's going to snipe one of these Queens, but here come the Zerglings. They're going to get a wraparound onto these Adepts. And here we see Parting sending them into the main base. Some of these are going to go down incredibly fast. He does use the Warp Prism to pick them up. And some of them inside. Only 4 survive. Only 4 survive here. The Zerglings are coming through. He moves his drones off the line, and these guys are going to go down incredibly fast. Parting, an Immortal, starts in production, and Solar so solid. His defense is perfect. His game reading and understanding of what he needs to do is working.
Yeah,
but Parting,
canceling that 3rd base, so essential. Just staying on 2 base. Such great reads from Solar. Always having that Overlord there. Parting didn't even attempt to clean it out. It's so strange to me that he would not remove that Overlord from the field here.
Sentries in this Warp Prism.
Could see
it has been spotted just about, but Zerglings are already back. That could have been super dangerous if he got that force field on the ramp. He's still going to try and go for it.
Solar out in the main though. He's going towards the ramp, maybe. Yeah. And Solar is locked out. There's no Rounders here.
I can't believe it. He's locked out on the ramp.
Is Parting gonna do this?
No, he warps in a bunch of other units. The Warp Prism! The Warp Prism! Oh, the Warp Prism goes down, and that is huge! And there is nothing left here for Parting to continue to warp in. The force fields are running out. There's 1 left. And when that last force field is out, the Zerglings will flood through. And Parting The War Prism taken down, and that is it.
He made
There's
an
nothing
immortal.
left.
He made an immortal instead of a second prism, and you're not supposed to lose that prism in the first place. They sell it. Gets surrounded by the Zerg, surrounded by the Swarm.
11 drones were killed though in this. The worker count is low for Solar. There's still a high amount of Zerglings though. Parting gonna go for it again. The Immortal now moving across the map with a handful of units. Another Warp Prism is being made.
Oh, and these Zerglings running into the death. Every unit is so valuable right now.
2 Immortals as well. Can Parting still make this work? The Spinecrawler repositions, 12 more Zerglings are on the way.
What is in this War Prism, I wonder? Could be sentries, could be adepts.
It's
4
adepts. A lot of lings though, a lot of lings. These force fields are gonna have to be spectacular, and he's loading into the main base.
Elevator drop. Harding using that...
61 lings are out though.
Oh, and a probe as well?
I'm not sure what that probe's here for, but he's going to go in for the wraparound. The force fields do cut a lot of this up, but he's going to take the fight. And here we go. Does he have enough Zerglings to shut this down? It looks like there is a lot of Zerglings and even more coming through. Is Solar going to win the championship right here, right now? Parting has the control for his life. His tournament championship is on the line. He gets picked out and he has to evacuate, and Solar holds on again. What an incredible last game here. These Immortals are so low in health, and Solar is chasing, and he's going to pick up the last couple of units, and the pickup has to be called again from Parting, who's down half the supply of his opponent, who is charging to the other side of the map with a Baneling Nest finishing up as well. He could blow up the structures and get inside the main, and Parting with a choice to be so aggressive. It doesn't look like it's working.
Almost making it work with the force field on the ramp, but losing the War Prism completely shut this down for Parting. Great micro with the Prism, but it's not going to be enough. These Immortals are just... Eventually, they have to fall.
Yeah, he's force-filled them in. He does lose all the sentries and pick up the Immortals. But you remember on the other side of the map, we do have some Zerglings. 18, 20 additional. Solar is coming for his 3rd Dreamhack Championship. All he's got to do is keep Parting at bay for now. He's breaking through this gateway. A TG is called. GG Solar has won his 3rd Dreamhack Championship, 4 games to 3 versus Parting. An excellent performance. He was down 3 games to 1, but he has turned it around and is the first Legacy of the Void Dreamhack champion.
Showing amazing macro skills and defense of multiple aggressive builds. Truly a champion here at Dreamhack with that amazing, amazing Zerg play. Parting making it close though.
You can't help but feel Parting let this one slip away, but it is Solar at the end of the day who picks up the championship, grabs himself $20,000, and of course is a 3-time StarCraft II champion. We're gonna head over to the stage now. As you can see, Smix is with Solar. Congratulations to Solar, a very impressive victory.
Solar, congratulations. You are now a 3-time Dreamhack champion. How does it feel to win? After practicing so hard, you had over 1,500 games under your belt. You practiced so hard for this tournament, and now you won that prize. You are the champion. You must be so proud of yourself.
I just want to say happy first. And when I losing in 3-1, and I was my mentor was almost broken. But I feel, and I'm thinking about my teammates for practice harder, and my parents, my friends. So I get some more calmer, and that's why I can win. I can come back.
Now, Solar, up until this finals, you looked absolutely unstoppable. You had only lost 1 map, but this final series was so intense. It went all 7 games. What do you think was different about this series? What did Parting do different?
I think when Parting lost on Freon, I think he gets a mental break, I think. So his mental was broken, so I can get easy win on set 7.
All right, and last but not least, Solar, You are now a 3-time Dreamhack champion. You're the first Legacy of the Void Premier Tournament champion, and you just won $20,000. What do you have to say to all the fans that are here, to the fans that are watching, and to all the friends and family that are watching as well?
First one, thank you for watching my great games, and hope you guys enjoy all. And remember me forever as the first LOTV champion.
And there we have it. We have a Roccat Legacy of the Void champion, Solar.
Trophy up, the first LOTV champion, boys. The beginning of a new legacy.
An expected winner at the end, but it wasn't as easy as many thought it would be. A very close finals overall, a great display of excellence from Solar, but as we spoke about, parting unfortunately. Solar mentioned it. He felt that he was broken at the end.
I mean, he was resorting to some rather cheap gimmicks there. Proxy 3 gateway, got scouted immediately. Not sure if he even got to see the drone there scout him. And then resorted to another one base play in the game after that. He did seem broken. And I mean, he had such a hard day. He had to go through TY, which was one of the closest series I've ever seen. And then another few close series beyond that. So maybe he was just mentally worn down. But we've got to hand it to him. Like, going 3 maps against Solar. If that's the best of 5, he would have walked away a champion.
Yeah, definitely worth the praise, I think, for Parting, who basically played all day long. Solar had one series, certainly fresh for this grand finals, and really, Parting took it like a champ, brought it all the way, but that had to be just such an exhausting run even to get to the grand finals.
Absolutely.
So well done by Solar in practice. 1,500 games leading up to this event. We saw when it came to dealing with these one-base aggressive openings from Parting, how refined it seemed, Solar's defense. Yeah. Truly showing the experience and the practice and the time that he put in to becoming the champion here.
And what great games we had. I mean, we got to really see a lot of what makes this new game so exciting and so crazy. And of course, you know, coming down to the wire, Solar's preparation against pushes like this, you know, Parting is that guy that we've always known to have the big follow-ups, the guy to make these miracle plays. He has the X factor, but Solar he was just too solid. You know, there was no crazy strategy that was going to catch him off guard.
Interesting choice of strategy on this last map, though, from Parting. It's got to be said here. Scouted instantly, knew exactly what was going on from the very beginning. And Solar, perfect response. His defense, as Snoop said, was on spot every single time. A different aggressive build was thrown at him. And deservedly so, a great victory for him today.
And one thing I have to talk about Solar, it shows that he's very well practiced because there's no thinking time there whatsoever. It was all instinct. He knew exactly what to do. And for the majority of the time, it was the exact right thing to do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the decision-making is really what shows to be so phenomenal, because we talked about when we began this tournament just a few days ago, how all the craziness of a newly released game, there was no set meta, there's no guy that's won 3 GSLs that's really shown us how it's done, and he still had all the preparation and, you know, the mental fortitude to bring it together, and there he is, a champion, 3 times.
Reaping the benefits of being a champion there.
Indeed.
Great victory.
Of course, you know, it wasn't, I guess for him, it kind of looked like it was easy, right? You know, you had to go through a lot of really good opponents, but it kind of just, it almost sounds like a dismissal of everybody else that even tried in this tournament because this guy showed up.
Solar, definitely one of the hottest players right now in Legacy of the Void. Been a rising star in Korea, in the Korean scene. Always been there, but slowly and surely just becoming one of the very, very top players in the world.
And a right cheeky chappy too. His English is
He's a funny guy.
Very likable.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. Good banter on and off camera.
A good winner, a real winner.
Yeah, and a truly deserved champion. $20,000, nothing to scoff at as his year comes to a close. But of course, Legacy of the Void just coming out. There's so much more awesome action that we will be seeing. And of course, I want to give another big thank you to Roccat for sponsoring this tournament, for making it all happen. This is the Roccat Legacy of the Void Championship, the first premier tournament for StarCraft II Legacy of the Void. Thank you guys, of course, for joining us, sending in your tweets, hashtag set the rules, winning that swag. It's been good. It's been fun. I'm proud to have been a part of this. Just the first Legacy of the Void tournament with games this good. If it stays this good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always that very first tournament, as Solar said on stage, the very first tournament of every new StarCraft game we've had over the years will always be remembered. From Wings of Liberty when Maru won, to Heart of the Swarm when you had the beta tournament in Poland, to the Intel Extreme Masters when you had the first MLG tournament in America for Heart of the Swarm, and now this one as well.
Yeah, really, really awesome. We're going to take just another look at the bracket as well to catch you all up to speed on the magic that occurred here this weekend in Jönköping. Of course, Solar had the easiest route because he didn't lose a single match this tournament. Knocked out Parting in the semis for the winner's bracket, knocked out Firecake, and took it all. Parting had a little bit of a path to go, dropping down from that winner's bracket, but he went through some of the toughest guys that we thought were competing here from the non-Korean scene especially.
Yeah, Showtime putting up a very good fight against Parting as well, but eventually falling to the PvP might there in the game of bowling or tennis or whatever you want to call it.
Dodgeball, according to the
Dodgeball.
live report thread. It's been a pretty awesome set of games, and I would still say that walking away from that, I say the final as well now is pretty high up there, but as a Terran, of course, that TY Parting series, even if you're upset that TY lost, probably one of the best TV matches you're going to watch in quite some time.
Yeah.
Worth checking out. Any final thoughts from you guys?
Just massive thanks to everyone who has been watching over the last 3 days over in America, and of course all in Europe as well. And a big shout out to everyone who came to watch the tournament live. Good job, team.
Yeah, just a big thank you, excuse me. Just a big thank you to everyone who keeps supporting the StarCraft scene, as well as all the players. Keep practicing ever so hard every single day to provide these high-level games here for everyone to enjoy. It's really amazing going into Legacy of the Void. I feel like the games are a lot more entertaining, both to play and to watch. So just a big shout-out here to all the players and everyone who makes it possible behind the scenes here.
I think you guys pretty much covered it, but yeah, the game feels so fresh right now. There's non-stop action all over the shop, and the fact that we have those wow moments and are you kidding me moments where whole armies disappear in the blink of an eye, it's truly refreshing to watch these days.
Yep.
Yeah, very exciting tournament. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank all of you at home for tuning in online. That's it. It's the end of the very first Premier Tournament for StarCraft II Legacy of the Void. Hopefully many more to come over the next few years. Have a great night. We'll see you guys next time.